Okay, we are rolling on audio. Are we rolling? Did you hit record on the video?
I can't stop laughing, man. This is too funny. Worst Hour Podcast proudly welcomes back Tyler, the producer.
In the most Tyler classic fashion, he's here to do what? One thing?
1 to 2 things.
1 to 2 things, and he tasked us to remind him for the 1 or 2 things that he needs done.
Right before we started rolling.
Hey, dog, you mind reminding me to press record? It's literally the only thing he has to do.
It'd be like if you hired a director and then you had to say cut so that he would say cut.
Will you remind me to click that board real quick before we start? By the way, Tyler also texted me and he said, "Hey, do you need me to bring anything for the pot?" And when I found out later that I'm pretty sure you sent that text from here. I think you were already here because you called me right after that and you said, "Hey, do you mind if I unplug your soundboard?" And I was like, "So did you text me if you need me to bring something, but you were already here?"
No, that did not happen. No.
You were at my house too fast after you sent that text.
Because I was at Zach's house when I sent that. I mean, really, it makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. We proudly welcome Tyler back.
Very happy about that.
Very, very happy about that. Do we have everything loaded up here on the screen? I'm a little worried about. Listen, man. I'm not gonna go unless you're ready to go.
Did you? Is it just in here that we're doing it this way?
Oh, I think I just shared a link with you. Go to your Gmail. I put it all in a nice little.
Close your eyes. I don't want you looking at my emails.
I will not look at your emails.
Now that I'm a little bit of a business owner, I need to keep these things confidential.
As soon as you have a stake in a business,
yeah, nobody can look at your emails.
Your emails become a real important thing. Am I good to look?
You're good to look. It's over.
Okay. I mean, dude, I'm glad. Listen, man, you don't ever have to worry about that. I will always protect your privacy here. Okay, fantastic. Let's start today's show. Worst Hour Podcast, by the way. Just in a chance that you're listening to the show and you don't know what the hell
is this? Who's Tyler? Yeah. What am I doing here? Because they're playing us in like a One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, like up in the corner, a TV in a crazy house.
You're the guy who needs. You ever been in an old car and it has the AM PM sign on the car?
Yes.
You know, I don't really know who needs to know.
As big as a cigarette lighter. You have to clunk it out to go to AM.
Yeah. So if you need to know if it's AM or PM in your car, you need us to know what show this is. Yeah.
You're listening to Worst Hour Podcast. I'm Brian Folke. Over here to my right is my co-host of the Mo-host, Ramsey A. Badawi.
With the Mo-host, or did you say of the Mo-host?
I said with the Mo-host because you have the most.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that.
But not of the most sounds like you're fat.
Yeah.
With the most means this guy's coming with juice.
Yeah, I do especially feel self-conscious about my weight these days.
Really? Why is that? You know why? Because you probably don't live in the type of neighborhood where you can pace around for 12 miles a day anymore.
You know what, man? I got to tell you, I regret I moved. Are you still in Hollywood, Tyler? Yeah. Are you still under the overpass?
Yeah.
It's worse. Dude, Hollywood deteriorated so much.
It's unbelievable.
I fled. Mm-hmm. I put all the things I could on my back.
Yeah.
And then everything else in the U-Haul truck.
You had a bindle stiff in the cab of the U-Haul truck.
I left, and I regret it so much.
You miss Hollywood? Is it for what I just said, the pacing?
The pacing, you know what it is? I'm the sketchiest guy on my block now.
Yeah. You moved into a neighborhood where people actually followed the American dream. They emigrated here.
Yes.
They started a business. They succeeded, and now they own a home.
My next door neighbor is a elderly Filipino woman who is the mother of the property owner who owns the entire establishment. Here's how I know I'm the sketchiest guy on the block that I'm currently on. There's one other sketchy guy. He's super sketchy. He's like a guy who got the home handed to him.
Yeah. Yes.
And he stands on his front yard every morning. He just throws up a bowling ball pin. A bowling ball pin. He's just throwing it up.
Just juggling one?
Just one. He's the sketchiest guy.
Is he old enough to be like a veteran? Like
without a question.
Military, like Vietnam, maybe?
Yeah, he looks like he's probably maybe 48.
No, that's not Vietnam at all. That's not Vietnam at all.
What was Vietnam? Like
The
1920?
last troop left the soil of Vietnam in 1975.
Yeah, 40. Like 40, 41.
1980 was 40 years ago.
I don't think so, man. You can tell where I'm emotionally stunted.
Yes.
As a 21-year-old man. I'm like, nah, 20 years ago. It was 1999.
Yeah,
Everybody knows
Vietnam
that.
vets were everywhere.
Yeah, he's a sketchy guy. Here's how I know I'm a sketchy guy, because he says what's up to me every morning. He doesn't say anything to my girlfriend. He doesn't say anything to her, but every morning he's got to say what's up to me.
So
While
he's
I'm
like,
out
you get it.
you know,
Me and you, we're holding down this block in this nice neighborhood.
I'm like, I'm just smoking a joint out here, dog. I'm just smoking a joint at 11:30 a.m.
Drinking a bangberry and talking furiously on the phone to somebody.
I have no idea how I want to feel right now. Do I want to feel relaxed? Do I want to feel awake? I'm not sure, so I'm going to try to feel all of them at once.
All I know is I need to feel different.
I just don't like what I'm feeling right now.
Yeah, so you're not pacing around like you used to, because I saw you pacing around. I mentioned it on the show.
That was embarrassing.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. You were furrowed brow, eyes down. You looked like you were on a mission. Like it looked like you were looking for money on the ground. Is really what it looked like.
We can cut this out, and I might want to cut this out. Was I wearing shorts?
Shins were out.
Dude.
Calf high socks.
I was thinking about posting a picture of myself on Instagram today where I was wearing, but I was wearing shorts.
Yeah.
I'm like, I couldn't figure out how to get the blur function on my shins.
You know, I could show you in Photoshop how to make the bulge look bigger.
That I could do that, but then I don't know. I don't want any of the knees or lower to show.
Of course, we'll cut it. We'll crop it.
Oh.
And we'll make it all. It'll look like the cock goes below your shorts.
Okay,
No problem.
I like this.
I went to college for this.
Did you really go to any college?
Yes, I did. I went to several colleges.
What's the longest you stayed at one?
2 years.
Did you at one point go to or want to go to like a military college to impress your father?
No. I went to all my college was post-military. I went to City College of San Francisco.
So you went to college specifically. Let me get this straight.
Mm-hmm.
You went to college specifically because it was like a perk.
It got me a raise at my job.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense.
Yeah, and it certified me as a teacher.
I thought you were going to college the same way that you went to Denny's on your birthday.
That's what Tyler's doing. Tyler, literally, you don't understand. Like 2 minutes ago, Tyler's in my room going, dude, I got accepted to college. Won't have to work for a year.
Dude, it's really worth it. I'm glad that you're doing it. It's good. You should use all those benefits.
Yeah, you know what's funny is I wasted I had to pay for my college. Well, San Francisco paid for it, but not the military.
Yeah.
I would have preferred I didn't pay.
Of course. You prefer the military to pay for it over the taxpayer of San Francisco. Yeah.
My teacher, one of my early childhood education teachers, was this hippie woman with the biggest tits I've ever. I mean, they rivaled the Jamaican woman who gave me the vaccine.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we're talking hangers you could crawl in.
Yeah, of
you
course.
know what I mean? Like you could do that Star Wars scene where Han Solo sliced open that animal and crawled in to stay warm.
Hey, and by the way, listen to episode 52 of the Worst Hour podcast for that story of a Jamaican woman's huge tits.
I feel like I said enough for them to get context to be able to keep up.
Yeah. I hear ya.
But she would play Raggaetone, old white hippie lady.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell she wanted dreads, but you could tell because she was in the San Francisco education system, she knew white dreads were not okay. So she had kind of spring break braids.
Okay.
And you could tell she wanted dreads so bad.
Really quickly, reggaeton, different than, how is it exactly different than just reggae?
I think reggae goes like da, 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 and the reggaeton goes doof, 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 doof.
Okay.
But she would specifically call it reggaeton because it was from Brazil, and that was the Brazilian accent. And she would dance. She was so old, but her tits were magnificent for such an old lady.
Yeah.
And she would kind of dance, and I'd be like half staff.
I'm about it, dude. I'm about that life, man.
Yeah, this like 60-year-old woman playing reggaeton, kind of grooving like this.
Yeah.
It was, that's about what I learned.
To me, that's the most attractive type of woman I can imagine. We were talking about this before the mics heated up, but I'm stuck in 2004 sexuality. So Anybody who's sort of like Stifler's mom kind of vibe, I'm in.
This is Stifler's grandma for sure.
I'm 100% in. I think grandma porn is the best.
Yeah. You've heard it here first, folks.
Well, let me ask you a question. What's the worst kind of porn? Child porn.
I can't believe you made me look bad because I was thinking outside the context of I thought the worst legal porn.
I decided to answer the question for you. I didn't want to let it linger too long in the room.
Wait, is I don't know if this is a main feed topic, so we can cut this out if
we'll
we need
put
to.
this one with the shorts if we have to.
Yeah.
With all the shorts material.
Is child porn morally worse than snuff porn?
Snuff porn. I never understood snuff porn. Is that they kill you during the porn?
Yeah. They kill you or they kill. At some point, you get killed.
Before or after you have sex? Because I feel like that would make a difference.
I think snuff has genres. I think,
you go different ways. Okay.
Different strokes, different folks.
Lovely. Siri is listening and buzzing on this one. Good for you, Siri.
Did she have an opinion on whether or not snuff films are worse than child porn?
I'm glad that of all the times.
I'll tell you this, in the core of the law, the lines are drawn clear. Snuff.
I think that's true. I'm glad that of all the times the phone wanted to pick up and start listening, it's during child porn conversation.
I mean, these are the questions everybody's afraid to ask.
I think so. We have talked about doing that, launching our own
tough question segment.
We do a segment where we Google things for you that you don't want to Google yourself.
Right. When we had to look up the age of consent in Connecticut.
Yeah, I recently looked
for
up
a thing.
For a thing.
Yeah.
I recently looked up of whether pollen was considered flower cum.
And it is.
It's flower cum.
Yep.
It's sperm.
Mm-hmm. That really grossed you out, huh?
Dude, I'll never look at a flower the same again.
Just coming all over your windshield, making your eyes water.
Hummingbirds getting their fucking tongues deep down in there, looking up every fucking drop. Worst hour. I think we're gonna call that worst hour search engine.
Yeah,
that's our service. It's part of our Patreon package.
What are the alternative search engines? Dog.
There's Dogpile. There's.
My dad says the other one. It begins with a B.
Bing.
Bing. My dad. He thinks he's being clever. He smirks a little bit when he's like, "Hey, will you Bing?" And look something up. And he's kind of like, "Ha! I don't use Google. Liberal shitheads."
Well, he's okay with
the Chinese governments.
They're okay with the Microsoft element of Bing.
Yeah, my dad's not in. He does actually. I don't know anymore. I don't know, but Bing, for some reason, conservatives like saying.
That's interesting. I would think they would have their own Republican search engine or something at this point because Bing is also Bill Gates is.
Yeah, and he's doing the robots.
And he's doing the robots, and he's doing the vaccine. He's doing the vaccine.
Oh, that's terrible. He wants to put sunglasses on the ozone layer or something.
This guy won't be stopped.
Have you heard about this? He's wants to blow dust into the atmosphere to diffuse the sunlight.
You know what?
And he was describing it to us like we're so stupid that he needed to be like, imagine putting sunglasses around the earth.
I think that at least I appreciate Bill Gates doing that at the very minimum. I hate that Warren Buffett is a billionaire and is like, I'm going to McDonald's. What the fuck are you talking about? You're going to McDonald's?
Giving all his money away to charities that don't do cool shit. Bill Gates is investing in weird space time shit.
Yeah,
Warren Buffett's donating to starving children or something.
Bill Gates has a portion of his budget every single year where he's like, I'm just going to do stuff to just get people alarmed. Doesn't really do anything. I'm just going to start digging a hole.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. Dude, some people are just, Gates digging a hole.
He's a performance artist.
I would do it.
No wonder he's up from Seattle. You know what I mean?
So he's a performance artist. Okay. All right. Let's get into the show. Before we...
I just want to say every juggler I've ever met was from Seattle.
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm saying that.
Fair enough.
Which is one guy.
Thanks for clarifying, dude. I mean, we do have a huge listenership in Washington.
Yeah.
So I'm sure this is going to resonate with them.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Before we get started with the show today, shall we check in with the Mecca
Absolutely.
cam?
Traffic and weather in Mecca?
Yeah, I figured, look, we can't... Sometimes we do a bit that's so good in the Patreon that I do bring it over to the main feed. This is one of those bits.
A little lower traffic, but heavier than the last time we checked in with it. It looks like you're looking at, I would say post-rush hour. You're saying, if you live in a major city, this would be about a 6:30, 7 o'clock commute.
Pretty healthy. Yeah. And the cool thing about, and by the way, Brian and I discovered this on, I think this is, I don't know, maybe, is this Al Jazeera? Al Jazeera has like a live Mecca cam where they're just streaming.
No, this is a Saudi media outlet.
Oh, it's a Saudi. Okay, yeah. So they just stream what's going on in Mecca 24/7, and it's one of our ever since Brian and I discovered this, we have been periodically checking in on this.
By the way, somebody left a comment in the Patreon. Is it okay to address that because it's relative to this?
What did they say?
To this? So they deleted the comment, and so you know how when you see it just previews the comment in your email, it doesn't show you the whole message, and it says click to see. So all I saw, if this show turns into you guys just watching videos about the, and then it cut out. Now clearly it's Middle East, obviously, but then what? Like if this turns into a podcast of you guys just watching videos of the Middle East, then I'll be super happy.
It could be. Then I'll pay you guys more.
The comment was deleted, which makes me think it was Neggy.
Could be, but they deleted it so they knew better. That's just why I like the Patreon.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like Patreon was like, "Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna take care of that.
The
I'll
idea,
nip that out."
The idea that we have listeners who say something and then go take a shower and think for a second in the shower and go, "You know what? That wasn't the right way to handle that. Let me go ahead and fix it."
Well, and by the way, what else are we gonna look at? You want us to look at the Medina cam? What else are we look at? The Riyadh cam?
A lot less women on this one.
Jerusalem cam? What other kinds of cams can we look at?
Jerusalem cam right now would be brutal.
It'd be brutal.
Yeah, there's a lot of escalated tensions over there.
So, yeah, you're right. We'll get into it in a second. Actually, how
I love how every 6 months they're like tensions escalating in Palestine.
We'll get into it, man. How prescient of you.
Yeah.
Let's see. So everyone's kind of walking around Mecca right now.
You know what they should do? They should put some oars out of that thing and generate some electricity. Get some power. Have everybody push oars.
Yeah.
As they go around, make it green.
I think you and I talked about this last time. I actually think they should go the other way around. They should put moving sidewalks around that, and that way they go faster.
Exactly.
Because think about it. From a monetary perspective, if they go twice as fast, we can churn out more people.
Boom. That's more people, committing committing to their religion.
Of course.
In a way that gets them up into heaven.
We might be able
What do
to
you call heaven?
Jannah.
Jannah?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Alhamdulillah. MashaAllah.
Peace be unto him.
I do love that you know several Arabic words that are...
We ended our last Patreon episode pretty much speaking Arabic.
At the end of the last Patreon, we did watch a inspirational video from our new favorite Imam Menk. Mm-hmm. I did get several people who commented and messaged and said that they found it to be rather inspiring.
I agree. What was his name's like Mush Mank or something?
Imam Menk or Sank Jank or...
It's two M's. It's alliterated.
Who's Jank Uyghur? Is that the guy from the Young Turks?
Young Turks. He founded Young Turks.
It's not him. I found a video of Imam Menk just petting a cat, and he's brushing it back, and I've never seen a cat look more miserable in its entire life. And I've watched a cat die. I've watched a cat killed by my father, and it did not look.
What did the cat do?
When I was younger, we lived on the third floor, I think, of a like a low income housing unit, and we had a cat, and the cat scratched my brother, and my dad, no bullshit, my brother's crying. My dad, we have a balcony, slides the balcony door open, grabs the cat by its tail.
Oh, I think I see where this is going.
And just fucking hurls it.
Okay, I thought you were going to say he slammed the sliding door on the cat.
No. Like he just hurled it. He didn't think twice about it. He just fucking picked it up.
Oh, this one's broken.
Just threw it. And it was over. And he closed the sliding door, didn't say anything to us, walked away. Clear message.
Holy shit, dude. By the way, it's Mufti Mank.
I venture to say that this video of Mufti Menk petting the cat looks more miserable than the cat that I saw thrown off of a balcony.
I mean, at least there's some adrenaline going with that cat, the one he killed,
Yeah, Mufti Menk, can you just pull it up? Because it's going to make me so happy. Mufti Menk petting a cat. Mufti Menk is a really, really famous Muslim preacher who is. Is it? You're really on start page. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I found it. No problem. Start page works.
So,
is there? Should I put the audio on?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
He's just petting an orange tabby, and he's wearing that 8 Mile hoodie again.
Make sure that you're okay.
The cat is tail like between its legs.
Literally.
It's miserable. It's trying to run.
All right, there it goes.
How many cats does he have?
Yeah, dude, I think Muslims are like no dogs, but you can have too many cats.
So cats are popular. Oh, because Muhammad liked cats.
Muhammad was a cat dude.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it really does.
He totally would be.
Jesus was a dog guy.
Jesus was a dog guy. People are like, oh, but cats are so, they don't have any affection. Muhammad's like, exactly.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's what I'm looking for. I don't need to. I'm not so insecure that I need to be told that I'm loved every 5 seconds.
He's like,
Jesus needs that.
I need a pet that can just cut and run.
Actually, you know what's very dog is to make people have to praise you every time they say your name.
Yeah.
It's a little doggy.
It's a little
That's
doggish.
kind of how you train a, whatever.
Look.
I'm going to get killed. See, that's the comment I'm going to get killed for.
Yeah, that's
You know what I mean? It's like out of everything we say,
that you thought Muslims were more like dogs.
no, that's not what I was saying. Dog people.
Oh, dog people.
Not actual dogs themselves. But I feel like, when it comes down, when the curvy sword falls, it'll be for like something that I didn't even know was crazy disrespectful.
Oh, okay. You knew that saying that they would be dogs is disrespectful.
Yeah.
Tyler, brings me great honor to say this, but let's cut that one out right there. Tyler, I'm so happy to say this. Let's cut that out. All right. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Let's check this out. Did you ever know about this ethnic group in Myanmar?
No, but I'm glad we're ahead of it because I feel like we're about to get swamped in like Twitter jokes about this.
Yeah. So everybody be prepared for this one. There is apparently a ethnic group in Myanmar that is uprising here called the Karen ethnic group.
Yeah, they're called Karen. There's a military militia made up of Kerens.
Yeah.
Literally, that are successfully kind of fighting the military coup in Myanmar.
Yeah, it's this is I think it's important for our listeners to know. Sometimes a name could go wrong like that. You got to be really careful when you decide to name your organization, your terrorist group. Or got to have a name that can't go wrong. Karen? I don't know what you guys were thinking.
This has a chance for them to redefine.
Probably Karen in their language is a really cool word.
Yeah, that'll be an age thing for us to be like, I remember when a Karen was like a white woman in Starbucks screaming. And they're like, really? Because they're fucking vicious militias that overthrew a country in Myanmar.
Dude, Karens are so fucking cool.
What if Myanmar gets its third name in like 20 years? It was Burma, Myanmar, and then it'll be Karen.
Yeah. Kind of like how gay used to mean happy. That's it.
I think you nailed it, son. Should I hit play on this guy?
Yeah, hit play.
After an ethnic group attacked an army outpost near the Taiwan.
Hold on, wait, really quickly. Foreign news looks way cooler than our news.
I know. It looks like it's on a fucking spaceship.
Oh, dude, it looks like it's fucking. It literally is always an endless room.
It looks like he's on a yacht, like a Saudi yacht.
He's telling me news from the future. This is what I want my news to look like. The other day I saw CNN. They were doing it in front of like a brick wall.
Yeah, something rustic.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. It was like it looked like a crate and barrel set.
Right. You got Anderson Cooper was like warming his hands on a fire before he gives the news. Switching his shoes like Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, exactly. Ugh. I want news to be like this.
Yeah.
Sterile.
I want the guy when he says, let's take a look at the video. I want him to press his temple and then a projector comes out of his forehead and then the video is shown that way.
Where do you think they think we think they are? This is a very confusing room.
They think they want us to think they're in that river or whatever that's behind them. Like they're on like a news boat and they're in a river. I'm assuming this is Singapore. That's my guess.
Yeah, I think so. SNN, Singapore News Network.
Yeah. This is CNA.
Myanmar is its own country, correct?
Yes, formerly Burma.
Brian, can you look this one up? Is it its own country?
It is. I don't have to.
Just checking. All right, let's
Let's start from the beginning with our.
Let's see what's going on with these Kerens.
They demand a refund of their country.
You know what sucks is you. It's funny. It's so funny.
That's why I'm glad we're early on it. And then in 2 weeks, I'll be like, ugh.
Yeah.
These people making these Karen jokes.
I hate when something is actually funny like that. Okay, let's do it.
Fighting has erupted in eastern Myanmar after an ethnic group attacked an army outpost near the Thai border. It was some of the most intense clashes seen since the start of the military coup. The violence is a major setback for diplomatic efforts to end the turmoil.
Yeah, I would say that's a pretty straightforward sentence.
Also, I wouldn't call like rebels fighting a military coup like a setback because it's like, to me, that sounds like it's Myanmar state-run news where they're like, this is a real setback on the coup.
Yeah.
That's a weird angle to take.
Yeah, it is.
So there's the Kerens.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Oh, man. Somebody ordered oat milk, not soy milk.
She refuses to wear a mask while throwing a Molotov cocktail.
Police seized a camp near the eastern border with Thailand. Number of deaths and casualties is still being checked.
This footage stinks.
Yeah, it is probably, shot by a local. I'm not going to expect them to have the greatest.
It looks like they just zoomed in on Apocalypse Now. Just like a corner of it.
Well, Brian, it's sort of they're going through a thing. They're going through a little bit of a coup. Maybe give them a little bit of a break here.
I'm pretty sure they border China. There's good cameras right over there.
Yeah, but they're near Thailand. They're trying to get to Thailand. So,
God, imagine if your country's so gnarly that Thailand puts up a wall.
That you're like,
we don't want you guys here.
Or even that it's so gnarly that people are like, let's get to Thailand where things are reasonable.
Wait, look at these Karens jogging.
Against the military is currently being
Dude,
formed.
Not the scariest militia I've ever
I'm
seen.
not gonna lie to you, but I like them because they're kind of an underdog sort of thing going for them.
I think there's one chubby guy, and I think he's the reason why they went with all black.
Yeah.
I think because if you look at the front, so we're looking at a militia training of Karens.
Yeah.
There's half of them are in street clothes and half of them are in ninja clothes, and there's a fellow over here who clearly has a belly, and I think he was the one who suggested, hey, how about we do like a ninja thing where we go like all black?
Yeah.
Because that makes you look good.
Yeah, it does. It does. I do wonder why half the
Are
army
in
is
street
just
clothes?
they're straight up in their own clothes.
They haven't passed their physical yet.
Yeah, well, that's probably it. Maybe they're just auditing the class.
Extra credit.
We're not sure if we want to join the coup. We're just gonna watch on the side.
They don't
and see
know what
it's
side
like.
of the coup they're on yet. They're like, we're going to check in with you, then we're going to go back over to the military.
All right, we'll let you do one free class. That's it, though.
You got to be badass to be like, you know what? We're going to start an army to fight the army.
Yeah, it's a pretty wild
pretty
situation. It's a wild situation.
Here's another funny thing. This is we're showing, why are the TVs on the floor? There are no desks. Is there no... We're watching a diplomatic meeting of several countries over there in the southeastern China area.
It's like how when you go to Japan, they don't have couches.
Yeah, exactly.
What you guys don't know is in Singapore, they don't believe in TV stands. TVs are directly on the floor.
Every single politician in this meeting has his own full screen television. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like if you're in the middle of this, everybody could see one or two of the TVs just fine.
So what exactly? And well, I just realized. By the way, I must apologize to you. I am wearing my girlfriend's deodorant tonight.
I did smell something, but I thought it was a cultural thing.
I took
maybe Ramadan. You wanted to smell extra nice.
I just took a whiff of myself, and boy, it's quite confusing, but kind of nice. I sort of feel like I'm like, all right, this is probably the thrill of kind of wearing, the opposite sex garments underneath your clothing.
You feel like you're in drag because you're wearing female deodorant?
Well, not drag, but I'm saying like it feels like dare I say it, a secret.
J. Edgar Hoover over here.
It's nice, man. I like it.
How the only guy who did that I could think of was dead 30 years before even I was born. It's like such an old reference.
Yeah, man. J. Edgar Hoover, even his movie sucked. Do you remember he did a movie where I think Leo played him, right? Dude.
Really? I love Leo.
How great is it that Tyler is here when we had a film question?
I know.
We've never had a film question on this on this podcast. We've never even acknowledged that film exists.
And
this
it's no
podcast.
good?
It's really bad. It's tough to watch. And I'll tell you what, man, you really want, if there's any movie that sounds good on paper, it's J. Edgar Hoover's movie.
Yeah, with Leonardo DiCaprio.
He's an FBI, what was he, a director?
He was the director, the first director of the FBI.
Secretly cross-dressing, had
Gay.
tapes on everybody, gay.
He had a way too young of a lover. Little cabana boy.
Did he really?
He had a little cabana boy.
Getting it, man.
According to Oliver Stone's Nixon. That's all I'm betting.
Well, I don't. Okay. This is exactly why we don't talk about film, is Oliver Stone.
Yeah, I can't stand Oliver Stone. All right, back to these politicians. These carrots.
These chicks are going to demand justice. Classic Kerens.
Oh, my
That the
God.
military walked back a 5-point agreement with ASEAN to end the violence in Myanmar. A military statement says it would consider constructive suggestions from ASEAN leaders only when the
ASEAN? What is ASEAN?
I think it's another.
Are you trying to say Asian? Excuse me.
Is this AI?
Sir?
This is like bad AI reading this story.
Is ASEAN like a regional group?
Stop ASEAN Hate.
Mei Wong joins us.
Wow, we're real tight shot. Remember how far away he was before they cut away to the camera?
Yeah.
Before they cut away. So the news host was like a mile away in this endless room. We talked about it a bunch.
Yeah.
They showed some video of the coup, and then they just popped back, and it is a tight shot. And
Yeah.
I tell you, he's a looker.
He's a good-looking guy.
Isn't the first time ethnic groups have overrun a military base. What kind of retaliation can we expect from the...
Say it. What are their names?
That might have been the best. We talked about that before. The best waiting for the pause between two people who are remote, a news anchor and a guest.
Yeah.
Being like, go ahead and let us know your thoughts on that.
That's when I know we're in the future. We'll really be in the future. Is if we can do remote broadcasting where the guy doesn't have to wait 2 minutes before he responds.
See, the problem with this that would make me nervous too is that I'm a very attentive listener. So when I agree with something, I nod. But that delay, it might make me agree to something I didn't
Totally.
want to fucking agree to.
Newscasters on the other side, like, and Hitler did do a couple of.
I'm nodding too when he said thanks for coming. He goes, hey, Brian, first of all, thanks for coming. I nod. 2 minutes later, that nod comes through, and he's like, so is it true that you think that children belong in the porn industry?
What if it's for other kids buying it, though?
And I'm still nodding yes. Because I'm so happy somebody thanked me for being somewhere. Oh, that's embarrassing.
All right, let's see.
Particular attack on the Myanmar military's bases, you can expect that to really anger the military, given the fact that they will come back with more intense fighting. They will come back with more.
Say their name.
In terms of fighting against the ethnic armies as well. Already this morning,
they're calling them the
Tuesday
ethnic
morning,
armies.
Just say their name.
The military outposts.
We'll stop watching the clip when you say their name.
To try and send a message to the ethnic armies and also as a form of retaliation. I understand at this moment the casualties have not been confirmed.
Come on.
Also coming out
She's got to say it.
Myanmar military soldiers have died from the attacks, while on the other side, which is the Kerens National Union.
Yeah! She said it! Go, Karen!
You know it's not Karen.
It's not Karen.
No, you know it's not Karen.
No, but seriously, it's a sad situation over there.
You know, and the best to the resistance, and I hope that you get your country back.
We're seriously sorry about everything. That is a rough.
Did you notice that they went again hard pro-military coup again, where they were like, just so you know, this is going to bring a backlash and they will bring fury to you. It's just whoever this news source is, they are on Team Myanmar.
Can we just very quickly look at the Karen? I'm going to say it Karen because that's when I'm talking about it respectfully. I'll say Karen.
Okay.
Can we see what the Karen is up? Like, what's their deal? Like, what I want to know? Are they kind of like Turkish, or what's their ethnic background?
They're Sino something.
Okay.
Sino-Tibetan.
Well,
They're Sino. That's what.
oh, okay. So Sino-Tibetan. So that's Chinese.
Yeah, so they call him the Wikipedia called him an ethno-linguist, a Sino-Tibetan ethno-linguist group, which I think means that they are from the China-Tibet area and their differences is in language more than anything else.
Who defined these current? Like a lot of the issues that exist in the Middle East, it's borders drawn up by the West. after the 1950s after World War II. Who drew up the borders and fucked up Asia? Somebody fucked Asia up, right? Was it the British too?
I don't think it was the British. I think it was China at this point.
Was it China? Yeah, because there's a lot of borders messed up. It seems to be.
I mean, the free Tibet thing was all China was doing that.
Uyghurs are
China.
China.
I think Japan tried for a minute.
Japan rules. We all gotta learn a lesson from Japan. Did we say this already?
I'm not sure, but I don't know what the lesson is, so I'm gonna reserve. I'm not gonna nod.
Japan went wild once.
Yes.
And then after that, they're like, we're good. We're just gonna do, cool cars.
I mean, after they were nuked twice.
Yeah.
I mean, no.
I like to think they were already on the
nobody
right path.
else can say that. Nobody else has ever been nuked once.
I like to think they were already thinking about doing the right thing.
They're like, Jesus, you didn't have to drop those bombs. We were going to straighten out anyway.
I think they were on the right path.
Okay, let's see. Ethnic group, Karen. History?
Yeah, I'm just so curious if it's like, what the religious background is. I figure if we're gonna do the conflict some injustice, maybe for 30 seconds.
Okay, here's like a 4-minute video on the Karen
With
people.
Rich cultures, literatures, and traditions. Army and a national flag to be so proud of. Do you know who are these people? Do you know the country of Burma?
Dude, they're dancing and they're doing it good.
As Myanmar. There is an ethnic group who is known as Karen. Now we're going to tell you about them.
I don't think he's saying it right.
First, let's start with a very brief history of the Karen people.
Okay.
It is believed that the Hmong and Karen were the first group to settle in Burma more than 2,000 years ago. While the Hmong had their own literature and written,
The Mo?
there are very few written records.
Mo and Karen are the first people over there? Sounds like a bar my dad used to drink at.
Burman kings slowly destroyed Hmong and Arakanese kingdoms and invaded Thailand.
God, that's not the elephant's not the best war animal to ride.
Are you out of your mind? It's the best war animal to ride.
It's so slow and you're wide open. You're right up there.
It's a living tank. Are you out of your mind? You're literally on a giant tank. It's shooting water at people and shit.
This is why the Portuguese defeated the British. You think the big ship is the way to go, but you want to be fast on a horse, moving around, small style.
Dude, you get a fucking... Here's what you do. You come in on a giant elephant, then you get it all confused and you make it think its children are in trouble. It fucking wilding out. It stampedes the entire fucking village. That's badass as shit, dude.
I'm telling you. Well,
it's kind of horrific what you have to do because elephants, of course, don't forget. You know that thing about them.
Yeah, I do know that about them. So you got to hold their daughter, the elephant's daughter, hostage, put a gun to its head. I swear to fucking God, Dumbo, I will shoot this bitch if you don't start stampeding. No more fucking peanuts for you until you start tap dancing, buddy.
Like no other animal would remember that. Like every animal would remember.
Yeah. Bambi, like 8 seconds later, stands up and is like, "What's going on? What happened?"
I don't know. I hope that answered your questions about the Karen people.
That does
folks.
make Bambi way less sad when you think that if the elephant is the only animal with a memory, then Bambi 2 minutes later forgot his mom.
Completely
her mom was
forgot.
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's chill.
The only story that makes sense is Dumbo. Dumbo's the only one where it's actually kind of sad.
Yeah, very sad because he's gonna remember all that shit.
I assume he lost his mother in Dumbo. Tyler, second film question.
Tyler's like, got it on Blu-ray. I have all the Dumbos on Blu-ray. It's actually a really underrated anime.
Oh man, I really have never seen one. I've never seen one of those. No, I've seen Lion King. I was gonna say I've never seen one of those Disney movies. I saw Lion King.
Yeah,
I didn't even see Aladdin though. No interest in Aladdin. I got enough of Aladdin growing up.
Aladdin.
Yeah, I didn't need any more. Wondering what it would be like in Maghreba or wherever.
But did your dad watch Aladdin?
No.
No?
Why would any of us watch Aladdin?
Representation. I've been told that that's what you guys love.
No. I truly feel like personally, I don't have the popular opinion on this particular matter, but I'd like to be represented less in media. If possible, I would like to stop seeing anything that reminds me of me because I'm watching TV to stop thinking about me. I'm not watching TV to think about me in different scenarios, you know?
That's how I feel.
So, less Arabs.
Okay, so
I don't even apply to any of those things. I go, you don't want my opinion. Trust me. You don't want it. It's scary.
Should we finish a little bit of this Karen video?
Yeah, all right. Let's go back to the
guy's cool.
Karens.
They seem to be confused on their style. Like one ancient Karen is dressed like Benjamin Franklin, and the other one is dressed like
Kind of like a Thai Prince.
Bruce Lee or something. Yeah. Or Thai Prince is better.
It's probably better. We'll cut out Bruce Lee.
I'm not even trying to be insulting.
No, I don't think it was insulting.
Minority groups, colonization by the British meant
Oh, the British.
Oh, that was Benjamin Franklin's a British guy. That makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Yeah, because he looks like he's eating, ham and shit. Like,
I was watching MasterChef the other day, and they were in England. Season 10. So
yeah, Jesus Christ.
So they were doing some big things for season 10 on MasterChef. They went to England.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what was Canada booked?
I really think they were there because the chef Ramsey had like errands to run, and so they're like, let's just do a season
He had to
there.
finalize a divorce.
But I saw a lot of English people. They were in like English restaurants or whatever. And I have this like uncomfortable feeling when I see a lot of English people. And I really think do you feel that way? Like a lot of English people make me uncomfortable when I see them.
Yeah, well, when I'm outside the country, in America, not so much. But when I'm in a place where I'm already a little on edge, a little uncomfortable.
And you see a lot of them.
It seems like a fucking riot's about somebody's going to get stabbed.
I feel like so much global violence has been inspired by them. There's a part of me that makes it just uneasy.
All the men have shaved heads and sleeves.
Yeah.
That's like just the regular look there.
It's just an uncomfortable. And I'll tell you what, even the ones who aren't scumbags, you're like, I'm just uncomfortable with a couple of you in the room together.
Yeah, no, it's not a good feeling. Australians kind of do the same thing to me.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah. Australians do a similar thing. I agree with you. I just
Feels unsafe.
Feels unsafe. I'd like you guys I like a couple of Australians in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. One is fine.
How come Americans are so cool?
I don't know. I think it's just because we're such a melting pot that I feel like we're just the chillest of the chill.
Yeah. I like that.
I've never heard a bad word.
No, not yet. Welcome to the show, by the way. 42 minutes in. Let's really kind of put the gas on things here. Yeah. Let's try to wrap this show up in 4 minutes.
U.S. mentals Biden Turkey.
I want a hard out at 46. So. Let's see here. Worst Hour Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We do appreciate you joining us today, February 28th. Let's see here. A couple things I want to see. We have menthol cigarettes being banned in the United States. I'd like to hear a little bit more about that. Joe Rogan says you don't need a vaccine if you are young and healthy. Are you familiar with this?
I am.
I guess Biden also says that you can now ditch the masks, a couple other things. We'll get into that in a second. Of course, we want to very quickly say thank you to our sponsor, G.com. G.com is still sponsoring the show the next couple weeks, actually.
That's great. Yeah, I've been on their website a few times since the last episode. Nothing new there, but still deeply enthralling.
We are listed as official sponsors on the website. There are people who listened to the show last week and questioned whether it was in fact a real deal that we have, and it's actually not really a deal. Honestly, G is just genuinely our preferred partner for real estate.
Yeah,
in
it's
Kenya.
a preferred partnership. That's exactly what it is.
So there was no deal.
No, there's no deal because whether or not we were associated with them financially in any way, regardless of that, if I were to go to Kenya and I was intending on purchasing a property, the only people I trust, the only people I would go through are G. And as you said, spelled intuitively, GEIYYE.com.
That's G.com.
I cut a commercial for them. We'll be posting that soon.
G.com, by the way, one of the also great things about it is they also sell advertising space as well, which we're in the process of trying to figure out.
We're actually trying to get a billboard in Kenya.
I'm trying to get a billboard in Kenya, and the guys, G is trying to talk me out of it.
Why?
G's going, look, man, you don't want a billboard in Kenya. It's going to cost a lot of money.
No, it's not.
I'm going, G, just get me a billboard in Kenya, okay?
Yeah,
I promise it'll be tasteful.
Let me tell you something, G. I'm a big idea person, okay? I don't need to be bothered with the details and the, fuck all that. Just give me a number. I cut the check. We'll send you the design.
It's going to be a billboard of me dressed like I'm going to be like a lion, and Brian is going to be like a guy holding a gun. It's going to be like, listen to the Worst Hour podcast.
I'll be wearing those short safari shorts on it.
Exactly. Kind of a caricature style.
Yeah.
You know, Kenya's number one podcast.
I think, dude, I don't see a downside. I really don't.
People can't.
What does G mean by expensive, though? Let's get real. Did you talk turkey?
We didn't talk turkey. We wouldn't even get into it. I said, how many shillings are we talking?
Kenyan shillings? Because I'm willing to go up to 17 mil. Kenyan shillings.
I'll blow every advertising dollar that we've made on this deal on a billboard in Kenya.
Yeah, and he runs the advertising space, right?
As long as that money doesn't go to Tyler.
It's like a pack lumber town. You know what I mean? They own the convenience store.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
Pay you, and then he owns the advertising space. What other podcast is going to take out a billboard in Kenya?
I don't know, man. G.com. Move over Zillow.
Yeah, for sure. Move over. Yeah.
I stopped going to Zillow. I just go to G now.
Zillow's, the amount of properties that G has listed is at least 5 or 10 times more in Kenya than Zillow has. Zillow has like
over 20. I would say over 20 times more. I literally was looking at on Zillow just yesterday for some property. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't Kenya. It was Somalia.
But, you know, you're over there, East Africa.
Things are getting heated in Somalia right now. I figured when things start to get heated in Somalia, that's when I start looking at some real estate.
Yeah. I think it's going to be,
actually, we shouldn't bring up Somalian real estate, not with the G spot.
The G spot. Once they get into the Horn of Africa.
Dude, we gotta pitch G.com, changing the website to the G spot. He literally told me, he goes, I was some of the guys that ever because it's a company. He's like,
right.
Yeah, they're kind of just, they don't really understand podcast humor, so they thought that the ad was interesting.
By the way, Tyler, we did a 17-minute ad for them.
We did a 17-minute ad for them about how none of their properties have any lions on them.
Yeah. Who else can give you a no lion guarantee except not G, but Ramsey and I?
We're giving you a 100% no lion guarantee.
If you get mauled by a lion, don't come barking at G. Come barking at us. But I'm telling you, no lions. No worries.
We inspected every inch of that house, sir.
I drove around in a Jeep with a stake on a chain, and I just drove around all over the property. Nothing. No fucking lions.
Yeah, and we looked up trees. They sleep in trees sometimes. Yeah. These weird cats.
Just like those goats that are in the tree, just 9 lions standing in the tree.
I think are jaguars the ones? Jaguars do some fucking shit that jaguars will like break your neck and drag you up a tree.
Oh yeah. They're like I think they're the strongest like per size of all the cats.
Yeah, no jaguar promises. If a jaguar is on the property, we can't get it.
I'm not willing to put my name on any claim about jaguars in Kenya, but no lion guarantee.
All right. Let's see here.
Be sure but real quick, just to put a button on that, for the sake of us and our partnership, will you go ahead and just click on the website. Get the website some traffic. Just take a look for yourself.
If you don't believe that we're a sponsor, go on the website. Look at us. We're on the ad space page.
It's very funny. We are on the ad space, and we would show you here, but we want to generate traffic. We want you to go look for yourself.
Can you play the song, though? Can you play the song of the artist that's on G.com with us?
Okay.
Okay. You know what? We won't. All right.
I want them to go listen. It's really funny.
Okay. Yeah. Go check it out.
Just check it out. Maybe pick up a couple acres.
All right. Let's get it going. I know Bill Gates picked up all that land in Montana. It's like, fuck it. You might as well go grab land in Kenya. You're not getting Montana.
Yeah.
Bill Gates has already got his fucking paws right in it.
Last time I checked, Kenya didn't vote for Trump.
Very true. Very true. Although I bet you if they went and polled, I bet you it would have been a solid win.
I'm sure that they voted for a guy who does shit on a golden toilet nonetheless.
Without a question.
But it wasn't Trump.
It worked on everybody here. Why wouldn't it work outside there?
Yeah, golden toilets.
Golden toilet is a solid promise. All right. Before we get into some of this important Joe Rogan related news. I have more.
Daddy podcast kicked up some more dirt. Before that.
Before we get into it, I just want to remind people to Follow the show across all social media platforms at Worst Hour Pod. You can follow Brian and I, our social media, as always. Follow Tyler. Let's plug Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler.
At Tyler Gazar.
At Tyler Gazar.
Guitar with the Z.
Yep.
Tyler is going to try to help us out when he can. He's also started a new podcast. What's your podcast called, Tyler?
Best movie ever with Tyler and Jackson.
Best movie ever with two people
Best
from
movie ever with Tyler and Jackson. Full title.
Yeah. Best movie ever with Tyler and Jackson. Now, if you get best movie ever and you just write that, you're going to wind up on some other fucking two assholes podcast.
Probably two people reviewing porn or something.
Yeah.
But these guys, each week they review a movie and they put it up against the movie they reviewed before, the episode before, and then there's a winner for the best movie ever each episode.
Now, Tyler, for a guy like me who's never seen a movie before, what would you recommend a movie?
First movie. You're talking about total virgin. I'm walking in. I can watch it. I got access to every movie in the world. Total virgin. Which one do you start with?
Right now, the best movie ever is Point Break. I think that's a good start.
Point Break?
Point
Okay.
Break. I actually think you would like Point Break.
I'll check it out. I haven't seen a movie before.
I think Point Break. So Point Break right now is the champion in your podcast?
Yeah.
And who are they going up against next week?
We haven't decided yet. Probably either a David Lynch or a Coen Brothers movie.
Okay. Either David Lynch or Coen Brothers.
Brothers movie. Yeah, I realized I was going to repeat it.
Yeah.
I was like, what's he going to say? All right, I'll check
All
it
right,
out.
so tune in next week to see one, or just listen to his fucking podcast.
Yeah, figured to give it a little plug.
Or if you just want like the Sports Center version, we'll do that here in our plugs.
Yeah.
Da 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 da.
Well, I'm kind of like a pro, so I wanted to go into a bit immediately about his podcast, help give it some real airtime. We got listeners.
It's like putting the bellows to the fire.
We got listeners in Ohio, Lake Stevens, Washington, Kenya,
That's
Turkey.
Yeah, we've held on to that guy up in Bursa.
Bursa. We've got some Asia listeners as well.
We have 3 to 4 people everywhere.
Yeah.
But we have bigger clusters too, but I mean like a minimum of 3 to 4 people literally everywhere.
Yeah.
We've been listened to on every continent.
Yeah. We've been listening to on every continent. We won't tell you which one we're the most popular in.
Let's just say people tend to only live there about 9 to 18 months at a time. It's very dark there most of the year and very bright the other half.
Yeah. For some reason, weird fish live there.
Yeah, there's still dinosaurs, I think.
Those super weird fish with the stupid light on their head.
Yeah, that dumb. I'm glad you said stupid.
Oh, dude.
I hate those fish. I would rip those fucking things right off.
I swear to God, if there was a nonprofit that was like, our entire mission is we kill those fish.
Yes, dude.
I would give every cryptocurrency dollar I have to those
I
amazing.
hate those fish.
They're
They think they're so badass with that dumb submarine light,
Yeah, it's like
periscope light.
it's like, but you are doing nothing aside assuring that you can continue to live in the worst spot ever. Doug, move out of the dark.
I know. Oh, I see what you're saying. They're relegating themselves there by developing the tools to exist there. They can only be at the bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a life lesson.
Yeah. I appreciate. That's why I kind of went into this. That's why I went into this spiel about killing fish. Question: would Jesus' story still have been great if he made a bunch of those fish?
No.
Like a bunch of scary, weird light fish.
No, I would not be a worshiper.
They would have
They
killed
never
them.
did say what kind of fish, did they?
Yeah, they're probably trout or something. That's not those fish.
What about those fish that look like old men?
Yeah.
You know, with the nose.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of those sitting there.
They kill him way quicker. They don't even give him the final supper.
This food stinks, Jesus.
You don't even get a last lunch, Doug. We're getting you now. No supper, no lunch.
Do you think he had to workshop it? They probably had a few lunches, little smaller lunches,
Which fish
community colleges type gatherings.
Absolutely. Figure out which fish people like the best.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, it's got to be a good fish.
What a crazy religion. That is like next level magic.
He couldn't do tunas, right? Because tunas are like one of those fish where you're like, oh, those are actually like 500 pounds.
Yeah, they're giant.
They're giant.
Also heavily regulated.
Very regulated.
So, I mean,
you don't want to get involved with that.
He's got to get permits for salmon.
You don't want to start with that. Even if you're God, those permits take forever. Speaking of permits here, I saw that the United States Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, has I guess calling to or maybe started to initially put out the framework for banning menthol cigarettes?
So this is actually kind of part of this summer of change we had last year.
Yeah.
This is literally being promoted as beneficial to Black Americans' health.
Yeah. We saw this on UPN and UPN News Network.
UPNN.
I just wanted to be clear and say the words just to be clear.
The anchors are sister. They're on UPN, right?
We'll cut this out.
I said sister this time. I didn't say sister. You remember that episode?
Tyler, cut me out right now. Cut me out of this episode. I don't want to be in this episode anymore, dog.
Nothing wrong with remembering sister.
Nope.
I didn't make a value statement on them in any direction.
No way, brother.
All I said was they were news anchors.
I don't benefit at all from remembering sister. My career doesn't benefit from remembering
It was a good show. I liked it.
Okay, now I remember it.
So according to Del Monte Jefferson, who is the executive director for the Center of Black Health and Equity, I'm laughing at the sister thing.
Yeah, me too. Not laughing at anything
He
else.
says the winds are definitely in our favor, citing both the decades of data that show the cooling flavored cigarettes make it easier to start smoking, combined with the current cultural momentum towards improving the lives of Black Americans. Now, the reason why I included this in the outline is, isn't it fun when have you ever experienced this? Because this is a bit of mine that has now come true.
Which is?
So remember when Papa John said the N-word?
Yeah.
I said, if you really want to start holding companies accountable for the treatment of the Black community, ban Newport cigarettes first.
I see.
And that was like in a bit I did like a couple years ago.
You think the FDA watches your stand-up?
No.
What they did.
That's how they rule.
That's like, dude, that is. And Brian, guys, bringing up good points. This can only mean that the Latin American community should hang on to their hot Cheetos right now. This could be it for you guys. Tyler?
I know. Well, the plastic man is going to get rid of that candy that they put on the plastic spoon.
Oh, yeah.
That's gone, dude.
When I was a kid,
Tyler, look out.
I used to really enjoy the Lucas until the government stepped in on that one.
Do you know
apparently it had lead in it.
You know, Tyler.
I was eating, dude, I was eating container after container.
Just bullets.
They're basically like, it's basically pepper and paint. Tyler, did you eat that stuff a lot, the Lucas?
Oh yeah,
I was gonna say Tyler used to go into Mexico because he's a border kid.
Yeah,
go into.
It's probably. I imagine the Mexican FDA is like they don't even give a shit about that.
No.
They're like, so wild.
And he would buy a ton of candy and hide it in his car. Drive it.
he had like a panel out.
Like cocaine.
His quarter panel out. He's got a bunch of Lucas hidden in there.
His tires are lined with tamarindo. Chili mangoes just in the ceiling, sewed up.
He's put a bunch of spoons with like mango paste up his asshole in a condom.
Do you know how many of those little candy corn on the cobs with chili on them he could shove up his asshole? So many. And then he would sell a candy store out of his apartment in America. Mexican candy. That was a hustle he had growing up. You and your grandma, right?
Yeah, we used to undercut the ice cream man.
Yeah, they undercut the ice cream man.
Dude, wow. And none of you guys were paying taxes. None of you were. That's what frustrates me. None of you were paying taxes.
Dude, did it ever come to blows?
Between
the ice cream man?
Tyler versus the ice cream man?
No, he said it was fine. So Tyler's from a town. Can I say the town you're from? Yeah, he's from El Centro. And I was just driving around.
Small city outside of San Diego.
Yeah.
International podcast.
I was just driving around when I was going to Salton Sea. We talked about that a couple episodes back. And I was down there, and all of a sudden it got super shitty. And I was like, where the fuck am I? Like, this is like horrific. And then it said El Centro, 2 miles. And I was like, this is where fucking Tyler is from.
Yeah, really quickly. I don't want to rehash it. I'll cut it out really quickly, but I have to ask Tyler. We talked about it last week. Is there a neighborhood in El Centro that kind of looks like Black Hawk Down? Like there's like, it's like.
Yes.
Right? Okay. We were talking about it last week, and I was trying to explain to Brian how scary of a neighborhood it is because it literally looks like there's a military occupation happening. You've never seen Arabic graffiti in your life, and then you're all of a sudden seeing Arabic graffiti. You're like, did I step into a time machine?
Are there a lot of Arabs in El Centro?
Chaldeans, bro, or like just like an Iraqi Christian community, right? Am I wrong?
I actually know Chaldeans.
Chaldeans, right? You do know. There
was one Muslim family
Yeah. There's always there's always one Muslim at your school.
Yeah.
We were the one Muslim. I mean, I was literally the only Muslim at my school. There was no other Muslim.
I went to school with a lot of dudes with Muslim names, but I don't know if they were Muslim.
You mean, that's going to be very confusing to a lot of people, I think, when they first come to America.
Yeah,
they see a lot of
Jamals.
Kareems, Abdullahs, Abdullah Rahmans.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, no, that's not. No, he's not.
Yeah.
He has a
I think they were all Christian.
Yeah, he is Abdul to a different Allah, I promise.
Yeah.
Not. I think that now is a good time to just fucking start stacking menthol cigarettes by the carton.
You know, when I was on tour with certain bands that we would go to countries that like Australia or whatever, we would smuggle cigarettes in and sell them at the merch table.
Oh yeah,
because cigarettes were so fucking expensive.
So let's do what we should do right now with menthol cigarettes and create a black market.
I actually could do this for you. You ready? That was loud. Let's never do that again. I'm sorry about that for everybody at home. I apologize.
Well, I'm going to have to unfortunately edit it out, but I'm going to just put in a different sound effect there. All right.
Just maybe somebody going, he shoots, he scores.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. I'll do that.
Okay, so it was, I mean, you know, I don't mean to brag here, but it was just funny when you write a joke and then all of a sudden it becomes law.
You know, when dentists, they do the thing where they it's not really a dentist. It's more of a dental hygienist move where they do the
Only
polish.
you would make that distinction. Who gives a shit? Whoa! I can't track. Are we talking a dentist or a dental hygienist?
Well, it's an important part of the story. You know how they do they polish your teeth with that thing?
Yeah,
and
I
the
hate
like,
that thing.
Oh, what flavor do you want it? You know, they should do menthol flavor, just a cigarette, a minty cigarette.
A little tobacco taste in there.
That would taste better than rum and Coke or whatever. They always have like a crazy flavor.
Pina colada, yeah. They're like, we have bubble gum, sex on the beach, or mango.
We have a Roy Roger flavor. It's got a light hint of iced tea.
We got a raw egg one. It's called the Rocky. It just tastes exactly like raw eggs. It's delicious.
Mojito. I hate all of those. I think menthol cigarette make me feel like I just was smoking.
Yeah, it's nice.
When I'm at the dentist.
You can take your mind out. You feel like you're actually taking care of your teeth.
Yeah, absolutely.
While smoking.
While you're smoking. And fucking put a little nicotine in there too. Why not?
Well, while you're at it, why not?
I bet you your gums absorb a little nicotine.
That's what the dip is all about.
The dip is about doing that. Yeah, I'll do that. I was so close to dipping. You ever dip?
I have never dipped, actually. I've done a lot of things, but baseball players, when they banned tobacco, they started wearing it in their armpits and where their balls meet their thigh and shit.
This is what's going to happen when they ban menthol cigarettes. People are just going to find their own way to do shit.
I mean, yeah, but
in the NBA, probably, as opposed to.
I don't think they'll have to deal with their balls, though. I think they'll still just smoke them.
Nah, it'll do it with their balls, I'm sure. All right.
Shout out to the FDA, making rules, staying relevant.
Joe Rogan, comedian, friend of the show, friend of the show,
jiu-jitsu enthusiast.
Yeah, absolutely. God in our universe.
Was he podcasting out of a barbecue shop now? What the fuck is that?
Yeah. He did
like he has rib sauce all over his mouth in front of that thing.
He seems to have redone his studio. Well, because everybody over the course of this last year all has learned how to be like a fucking a producer. So he's got the YouTube rules now where he's got to have like a neon light behind him. And he's got this, and everybody knows this bullshit.
That's like the rustic CNN thing we were talking about earlier, where it's like you have to pretend that like a guy who has $300 million lives in a fucking cabin.
Yeah. See, I like when we were watching Singapore News Network, CNN.
Yeah, because they're actually broke and they're pretending that
they're broadcasting from
the Death Star or whatever the fuck.
Joe Rogan tells his 21-year-old fans just 21-year-olds, everybody. So not just his fans.
Yeah, all of them.
Not to get COVID vaccine on popular Spotify show. Ooh, what show?
See, dude, you know what's funny is the media is just so bloodthirsty for controversy with him because they're so jealous of the numbers he gets.
Well, Rogan we all know those people. And I'm actually, look, man, in high school, I admired these people. Occasionally you meet a smart jock And it kind of bothers these people so much.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Although I do think that their jealousy lies in his numbers than his intelligence.
Well, the thing is that this is what they want. They want to be able to have a podcast, and they want to be able to do all the shit that he does and talk to academics and do whatever. He's literally living their nerdy dream.
Yes.
He built himself a dungeon.
With a 6-pack.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to add in there.
6-pack, fighting moves. Like,
Yeah.
He's a fucking cool dude. We're not ducking that.
Oh, I got no issues with Rogan.
I do say this though, and this is what I wanted to sort of mention here really quickly, and just got a whiff of my secret. A little distracted.
We're looking at Daddy Podcaster while you're podcasting in women's deodorant.
It's confusing. Yeah.
yeah.
No, from a broadcaster to broadcaster, which is my other podcast.
B2B.
We do a podcast with other broadcasters, just how to improve their own broadcasting skills.
The first half of the show is just trading vocal warm-ups.
He shouldn't have. He should never talk about what you can and can't put into your body, because he makes a significant amount of money selling Alpha Brain on a yearly basis. And you can't talk about being like, I don't know if I trust this stuff, when you sell a product that gives people nightmares when they
literally, I had to give you my Alpha Brain because we all know the story. I started shaking and diarrheaing all over the place and having a horrific panic attack.
I thought you were being foolish. I took them from you and had the same experience.
You texted me. You made fun of me, which was fine, but I took the Alpha Brain, diarrheaed all over the place, and had a panic attack. And then you texted me, dog, these pills are making me feel terrible.
Yeah. I'm not saying he can't sell them. I'm not saying he shouldn't sell them. I'm saying if you sell those pills, probably don't sit there and talk to me about what can and can't go in your body and all this other stuff, because...
And also, let's just be honest. Nobody gets to age 60 and has that body without a little bit of injection.
Without going against the grain in nature.
He also is covered in tattoos, too. I mean, come on.
You think a 60-year-old is supposed to look like you?
No.
You think naturally in nature, if we let it go, 60-year-olds would look like you? You fucking superhuman.
If we let that dude who was raised by wolves continue to live with wolves into his 70s, he would not look, he would have a gut.
This is the only podcast where we trash Rogan from a place of because we wish we were him.
Oh, yeah, no, and I want to be very open about that.
We're just so fucking pissed off at how cool he is.
We're openly jealous. We're not hiding behind vaccine hysteria to dig at him. We're openly jealous.
I'm talking to you as a broadcaster, buddy. Stop stepping in it. Stop giving these fucking fools this kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
You got to get him on broadcaster to broadcaster and really hash it out.
It would be like if Brian and I started talking about how we were like, well, you shouldn't own any land in Somalia. Actually, it's not a really good investment, but it's like we peddle land in Kenya. So obviously, like,
although I do think if you are choosing between the two,
if you're choosing between the two,
G.com, go to Kenya and get property there. Better deal, much more reliable company.
It's a much more reliable company. I'll tell you about how I lost my first $20,000 thinking I was investing in Somalian land. Turns out I was giving it directly to a pirate.
That's a pamphlet. It was directly to a pirate.
They were taking it directly from me.
I thought it was weird that his nose was pierced, but
wooden leg. Not what you guys are thinking. He was a pirate.
He had a Gatorade bottle for a hand.
All right.
Whatever, it's a water bottle. Keep him in case he gets thirsty.
You know what? I like that.
Put it back on.
If you're missing a hand,
that's heavy too when it's full.
If you're missing a hand, you should get like a good. I would get a beer, and then you get a beer mug for when you're having fun,
or a little koozie in there that you could just put anything in.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Anything. It's a cup holder.
You could do whatever you want. Yeah, I guess you're right. You could do whatever you want, really. You know what though? You wanted to say something healthy. That way you could sneak a drink if you wanted to.
Right, like I'm such a bitch before I had my coffee, something nice like that.
No, I was thinking maybe like a green juice kind of thing, but then you'd have to be green. Whatever you're drinking.
You don't want to set a standard you can't live up to.
Yeah, I don't know.
So anyway, that covers Joe Rogan and his recent scandal.
I just want to say broadcaster to broadcaster. That was the only thing I wanted to say. I don't want to jump in on the Joe Rogan hate because I'd be lying to you folks. I'd be lying to you.
Yeah, I bet. Who doesn't want $100 million and a 6-pack?
And a 6-pack and probably a hot wife. He's not telling us his his wife. He's probably got a super hot wife.
He can kick harder than like professional kickers.
He's a loving father of 2 daughters. That's something I'd love to say someday. I mean, I don't want.
He's got a daughter of color.
Does he have a daughter of color?
Yep. His oldest kid.
It's super cool. Wow. This guy is insanely cool.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Stop saying stupid shit because you're so fucking cool, Joe.
That's part of being cool, dude.
Dude, stop.
He steps wherever the fuck he wants,
Bro,
dude.
stop it, man, because you're fucking the coolest guy we know.
Show me the line. I'll step right over it, bro. I'm Rogan. On sticking to vaccine news.
Yeah, Joe Biden.
He's having he's had a couple. These next 2 stories back to back are going to show you when it's great to be president. It's a great day to be a president.
Biden, not my president, by the way. Do people say that or no?
My dad says, well, now that numbnuts is in office, he calls him numbnuts.
You know, I got to be honest with you, man. Even if you're a Trump fan, you got to be numbnuts is Trump. I mean, that guy,
I know.
He's a numbnuts, dude. It says that apparently, I guess it's okay if you are fully vaccinated to hang out outside without a mask.
Ditch the mask, baby.
We're outside, by the way, right now. This is a green screen behind us. It's making us look like we're in a studio.
In a very expensive Singapore news studio. Yeah, we're outside. Whatever. No, I'm fully vaxxed. Tyler's fully vaxxed. And
I'm halfway there. I'm not sure if I want to get the second one. I don't know. I'm still not sure if I want to get the second one. I was positive about the first one. I'm gonna let the second one kind of figure it out.
But it doesn't matter because we're vaxxed. So
yeah, I'm doing kind of what Jenny McCarthy's kids do, where I'm just taking advantage of the fact that all of you are vaccinated.
Right.
No, I have my last one tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. What can I expect? Will I be screwed up from it?
Well, I reacted kind of hard to it for 24 hours, but I just had a headache and I slept. That was all.
I want him to give me the second one in my dick.
Yeah. Dude,
is it possible?
It makes your dick bigger. It's not going anywhere.
It's going to swell up the dick a little bit.
It's like getting like Botox in your cock.
I was reading that one of the symptoms of
thick dick?
No, apparently women are suffering. I don't know if that's the right word.
According to them.
More extensive menstruation as a result of the vaccine.
Well, for a guy who's a fan of a little gravy on the biscuit, hello.
I was sincerely wondering. I was thinking to myself, how could this show cover this subject? And Brian did it, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll spoil a bed sheet. I don't give a shit. They're cheap at grocery outlet.
Well, is that where you get your bed sheets from?
Right next to the figs.
Grocery outlet.
Bargain market.
I heard that is it possible men will have a similar maybe men
heavier cum?
Heavier cum, heavier load.
It's the same
Thicker
amount
sauce?
of cum, but it weighs more.
It's a more viscous sauce, man. Ladies and gentlemen, this show is
coming honey.
Where's the all-time low button? Do we have a button for when we've gotten to the all-time low?
I'd hit it, but it would be so loud. Oh, I told you it's going to be loud. Don't hit any more buttons. Keep away.
We have to edit that out and put in something pleasant.
All right.
All right.
More viscous load. Okay, so the reason why I put these stories back to back was that, first of all, if you're an embattled president, which there is no such thing as a president who isn't embattled, it's great to come out with good...
Embattled president?
Yeah, in the sense that half the 65 million people fucking want him dead.
Yeah. Okay.
That's kind of embattled.
Yeah, I guess you're probably right.
So it's nice to come out and be like, guess what? You can take your masks off if you're
outside,
if you're vaccinated
and vaccinated.
But he kind of was just like, you can take your masks off.
Yeah.
And that's a great day, and it's another great day. He had a week or two before where he was the first president to recognize the genocide in Armenia, the Turkish genocide.
Before we get to that, really quickly, why do you want to take your mask? Why does everybody want to take their masks off so badly? You know,
I'm a mouth breather. I want it off.
You want it off?
I'd like it. I'd like it being on because I like hiding most of my face.
Did you ever notice your iPhone can't recognize your face when your mask is on? That's kind of fucking cool.
I dropped my phone in the toilet and the
the facial recognition.
Facial recognition's broken.
Yeah. Well, you can only technology can only be so good. You know what I mean? To fall into wherever you shit and survive would be asking too much.
I told my dad I broke it. He's like, Jesus Christ, I would quit working too if I had to look at that fucking face.
I forgot. Yeah, your dad is mort soul. I forget your dad is a lounge act.
Papa Rickles. Yeah.
I'd like to see him say anything to me.
I wouldn't because it would be maybe arrestable.
I have nightmares sometimes. I go, God, I have nightmares that my dad says something and somebody takes out their phone. I have nightmares.
God, your dad goes viral saying something
crazy because let me tell you, he says crazy stuff.
Yeah, my father does too, and I'm sure Tyler's dad does.
I worry. You know,
Tyler's dad once showed him a picture of the father showed him a picture of him with his arms around two topless, big titted blonde girls.
Dude, that rules.
So Tyler's dad's the coolest of all our dads.
Tyler, is your dad the Milf hunter? The original one. Not the fucking pansy ass new one that they're trying to shove down my throat.
How do you say hunter in Spanish? Because that's what he was.
Milf Bandito? All right. We're looking it up just to be safe.
Oh, he's the Milf Cazador. Milf Bandito is better.
Milf Bandito rules, dude.
Milf Bandito.
Picture Hamburglar, but just with a boner.
That hamburger comes with pickles.
God, I want to hit a button. All right. Let's see. Oh, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's great when you can do something that's like really symbolic, like saying you could take your mask off. Everybody feels good. It's a good bump in the numbers. Biden also recognized the Armenian genocide. First president to ever say the word genocide about what happened. And I looked at the numbers. I looked up how many Turks live in America versus how many Armenians live in America. 2.5 mil Armenians, 200,000 Turks. So it's a good play.
It's a good play. I didn't realize there were so many more Armenians than Turkish people.
Bigger
in America.
diaspora. Yeah.
I've never met a Turkish person before, so that makes sense to me. I mean, in America.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Interesting. I still have, but what I think is cool about this though is like if you got like something like, you know, they can't get the fucking filibuster reform passed, whatever, the day-to-day grind of politics, and you're like, is there anything like light that like easy that I could do to get my numbers up?
Is there some kind of a swish I can hit? It's just,
yeah. They're like, are you telling me no president's ever called that genocide a genocide? No, but literally nobody.
And how many Armenians are there?
He starts buttoning up his jacket. Here we go.
Get me Caitlyn Jenner on the phone.
Yeah, give me the Kardashians.
I got this.
She's not. Caitlyn Jenner's not Armenian.
Yeah, but she could. I mean, you know.
But
she's in the mix.
Give me Kim K.
By the way, Caitlyn Jenner is potentially going to run for governor here in California.
Yeah, history's really repeating itself. That's just like, to me, it feels exactly like Arnold Schwarzenegger saying he's going to run for governor.
It's the only way California is going to get a Republican in office is if they're like, but they're trans.
Yeah, or they were in, a total recall.
You got to have somebody who's ready to just fucking deflect homophobia.
Right.
And who better than manslaughter convicted? Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
Was she convicted, by the way?
No.
Of manslaughter? They slaughtered.
No.
Come on, folks.
Can't we just call it slaughter?
I know, man. I don't know why.
That sounds sounds a little harsher.
It does. It does.
You've been charged with 4 counts of slaughter.
Man softens it a little bit.
It really does.
Don't worry. It was just a man. No, nothing too serious.
It wasn't like a dog. It's true. Dog slaughter? That's brutal.
Dog slaughter would be punishable by death immediately.
100%, especially if the ethnic Kerens get Myanmar.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Hit it.
Okay, so another big thing as far as recognizing the Armenian genocide, because as we all know, the anniversary was last week.
Well, some of us remember very well. I'm glad he recognized. I was literally, for those of you who are new to the show, some of you might be, we were attacked, I would say.
Speaking of embattled.
I would say last year we were unfairly derided publicly by the Armenian community for a podcast joke pertaining to the Armenian genocide. And I was worried. Like, I was like, dude, if the American president doesn't recognize the Armenian genocide, they're going to be looking for something they're going to be looking for their easy win.
Yeah, exactly. Biden got his easy win. They would go for theirs.
They would turn around and be like, let's find these guys. Let's remember these guys that we were pissed at. There is still a change.org petition out there with 40,000 signatures demanding Brian and I
to our podcast numbers when we're trying to get ad space.
40,000.
By the way, we've generated this many views. We've also generated this many petitions.
40,000 signatures demanding a formal apology from Brian and I. A formal apology in letter, I believe. That was where they lost me. They're like, I'm like, I gotta write it, double space it, probably.
Should have written it in Arabic.
I'll hop on Clubhouse right now. Did you find it? Okay. It's too good. I'll put it in the show notes. It's hilarious. It doesn't help that Kurt Metzger, who was our co-conspirator, looks so damn Turkish.
With his big Turkish eyebrows.
He absolutely looks like he would be guarding Sultan's harem.
Yeah. He is. Yeah, he would be the tallest Turk. Because he's like 6'5". Kurt's a big dude.
Yeah.
So he
looks like he would be in a some kind of a Turkish cartoon about a young man who didn't want to join the army. He wanted to be a poet.
Right. But everybody challenges him, and he becomes a hardened fighter because of his height, begrudgingly.
Brian and I, never mind. This is an off my conversation.
Okay, but I just wanted to say, Turkey has never formally recognized their genocide that they committed, obviously, on Armenia, because that might mean giving up land, it might mean reparations, there might be a lot of things going on with that. But I shared an article in here where it looks like maybe it was cut out. But I
was moving this over on my phone. You're talking about the far right.
I remember the far right is Turkish Prime Minister, Parliament member, PM. I see Prime Minister.
Understand what far right means when Erdogan is the president. Yeah, your president is a theocrat.
Yeah, that is far right.
Your president is a theocrat who has stomped out 3 coups.
Yeah. So he threatened the Armenians with a second genocide, which I know sounds harsh and sounds negative. But in order to imply that there's a second genocide,
I like it.
He accidentally acknowledged the first genocide.
I like it. Yeah.
So
therefore,
it's a big day of a big month of recognition.
Yeah.
For that tragedy.
It's a really good point. Wow! Congratulations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't be happier.
Yeah. It looks like a lot of good things are happening, and it looks like this year is playing out far different from last year.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I guess we'll close it out on this one since the camera's getting hot here. Speaking of I don't know if we say genocide, but
no, apartheid.
Apartheid. I saw this article. This is from Al Jazeera, trusted partner here at Worst Hour Podcast. That's basically what the show is. It's just sort of an Al Jazeera reaction show.
Yeah. No way. What? Human trafficking.
There are renewed, and you kind of alluded to this earlier, which makes it an especially fun this was a story here, but renewed calls for Israel to recognize that what it's doing is apartheid right now. You want to play here real quick?
Apartheid in Israel. Human Rights Watch calls the domination of Palestinians a crime against humanity. Israel rejects this and has ignored similar allegations before. So, can anything be done to hold Israeli leaders accountable?
At this point, really quickly, how are you even denying anything if you're Israel? Like, how are you saying there's no apartheid whatsoever? Like, it's sort of a crazy thing, right?
It's the exact same thing Turkey was doing.
That you're just going like, didn't happen.
Nope, not happening.
It's just a bunch of people over there who can't leave. You know.
I mean, if they could leave, but they can't come back.
They can't come back.
Yeah, they could leave all they want. We'd prefer they leave, actually.
Yeah, we would really love it.
It's a reverse lobster trap.
Yeah, absolutely. They gotta. If you cross the Jordanian River, there's a box that falls underneath.
Yeah, exactly.
Lobsters, all they gotta do is just get a box to fall on top of them. Is that it?
No, it's like it's a hole that gets narrower, so they can fit into it, but they can't get out of it.
Oh, I see.
It's all the net action.
Oh, I see. Lobsters have a harsh life, dude, because...
Born in Maine.
Not only do they get killed and eaten, but like they got the one where they got to be thrown into the hot water.
Yeah, and it's like for some reason it's better if they're alive.
You gotta give them
There's no way that's true.
It just can't be true. It can't be true.
You can't. Did you boil this thing dead?
Oh,
No
man.
wonder it tastes like shit.
It's a harsh life for a lobster. That's for goddamn sure. Because they have those claws, and they thought they're like, there's absolutely
Who could fuck with this? Who the hell could fuck with
no
this?
way anything could get. I got claws, dog. Yeah. And it's like, dude, we have boxes.
Do they have to walk sideways
strings.
like crabs though?
No. Lobsters just go straight up and down.
Yeah, see, claws
forward.
and straight. That's a real war machine. A crab going left.
Yeah.
It's like
That one is
gonna
God.
come at you from the side.
Yeah.
That's not well built.
It's not a well built
I don't know where in evolution they were like, we should walk from where we can't really see.
A crab seems like you were trying to make a lobster, but you sort of bred cousins or something, and it's a little special.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a lobster. He needs a little help.
Yeah, I want to see. Anyway, well, I don't want to get on too much into crabs. Let's get back to Palestine and Israel.
This has been a pretty heavy marine heavy show, so I wouldn't put it past us. All right.
It's a good beat.
This goes back to our foreign studio. Let's take a look at what this studio looks like.
Good graphics department for sure. Working over there at Al Jazeera. Oh, it's perfect.
It's our exact. It is perfect. Perfect foreign.
Why
news
is
studio.
that desk there in the This is a giant room with swooping, waving walls and lights, and he's got this tiny desk that's. What would you even call it?
This is what heaven probably actually should look like if it's
like
real.
The gates, like the.
It should be a desk. It's probably a person of color waiting over there with checking in. Paul.
Yeah, this is a wild studio.
Who are you here to see? Hang on, let me see. All right.
Oh, I don't know. A little infidelity.
And it's calling the latest report a piece
This guy has a
of
hilarious
propaganda.
name.
But Palestinian leaders say it's a solid account of
already said it.
atrocities.
Oh, you want to go back?
Nah, it's not worth it. That's fine.
We're already here.
Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Mohammed Jamjoom. The term apartheid was first used
Mohammed
in South
Jamjoom?
Africa to describe the systematic separation and oppression.
It's just
of
funny
people
because he's
based
so
on
he's so Anglican.
He's so white looking.
Human rights
He
Watch
looks like he
says
darkens
that's
his
exactly
eyebrows.
what's
Yeah.
Like for cred.
How's it going? I'm Ramsey and No, Mohammed Jamjoom is too funny. It's way funnier.
Israel has dismissed similar accusations before, and it's calling the latest report a piece of propaganda. But Palestinian leaders say it's a solid account of atrocities, adding it's time for international action. We'll bring in our guests.
I
in
mean,
a
this
moment.
is just a
First,
story
this
that's just
report by
never
Rogan.
going to fucking end, right?
It's the same. It's every 6 months since 1948 at minimum.
But you know what's funny? Still, most people kind of don't really know what it's about.
Yeah, I know.
Like, most people are like, yeah, this kind of gives have a thing, right? Yeah, okay, it's interesting.
Yeah, well, you guys both have a reason to be there, and
Maybe it
Israel was there
does.
first, right?
I
Am
don't
I right?
think I want to get involved.
It seems messy.
It's messy. It is. It is.
But just, to use a word that was very popular 3 years ago, the optics of it, when you see somebody who's wearing jeans and a Ronaldo jersey throwing a rock and another guy who's wearing a jetpack with a flamethrower.
Here's the problem, and listen, man, you are a victim of the media here, and not to be, but the media does have a narrative here, and what's interesting and what you're seeing happen here is because the internet exists, you're seeing like far right, Israeli protests,
Plainclothes Charlottesville riot looking
where they're screaming. Where Israeli soldiers are there kicking them in. Like, imagine that. Imagine that Israeli soldiers are there being like, you guys got to calm the fuck down.
They literally chant, kill the Arabs.
I just threw a grenade in a baby Palestinian's mouth. And I'm telling you to cool it right now.
He puts a passy on the end of the grenade.
I literally just backed a fucking bulldozer into a fucking three family unit. And I'm telling you to cool it.
Yeah.
So you're seeing that a lot now, and it's not good look. It's
Not a good look
It's
because
not good look.
everybody in Palestine has a camera in their pocket now.
It's unfortunate. I told them. I said, you guys. Check it out.
Somebody have a
Palestinian
pogo
racism was on
stick?
show in Jerusalem last week with hundreds of Israeli far-right activists chanting death to Arabs. The far right thanks
I mean, look
It's
at these
also,
guys.
it's kind of hacky because that's more the Arab chant.
It's our thing.
Death to things.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm kind of inspired by it. I'm like, that's kind of cool that you guys thought you could do it. All right.
Yeah.
Two Arabs. Okay, so it works okay.
Okay, yeah. It's because it's always, what is it? It's the three deaths that they chant, like in Iran at least. It's death to America, death to Israel, and what's the third one?
Death to
There's another one.
The infidel. We already said that one.
No. I think you're right. Death to
the infidel.
infidels.
Yeah, that's about right.
It's so cool that we live in that list. There's only 3 people make that list.
Israelis chant. Good for you, right about that.
Yeah. Israelis, Americans, and infidels. I'm on there kind of twice, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm an infidel and an American.
Oh, I'm an apostate, buddy. I'm so much. They don't have words for me.
Yeah.
Alliance, sponsored by the Prime Minister, now has a foothold.
Are they purposely taking Nazi imagery? Look, these far right guys are wearing these red and white and black badges on their chest.
Yeah.
The irony of that, they're using. I mean, I don't know. Am I crazy or is that?
No, they're very. Here's the thing. It's that it's very odd to see, fascism from, I guess, Jews.
One of the biggest victims of fascism in the history of fascism.
There's that, and then there's also just a general cultural kind of clash from what you kind of know about Jews, from an American perspective.
And 6.8 million Palestinians live. And across these
you got to have your own mic if you're doing a fucking interview, dog.
I think it helps his cause.
Oh, yeah, you're right about that. He
probably has a $9 million studio, and he's like, you know what? Let's do it on one of those TikTok roast mics.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, should we keep playing this guy?
Yeah, give him a couple more seconds. See what Omar Shariki says.
Privilege Jewish Israelis.
The report focuses on 4 arenas.
I got to say, that's the best looking view of Palestine I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah, dude.
That's good looking land. Must have rained recently.
See where there's the cloud right over there?
Yeah.
I know a great falafel place right there.
Where's the Badawi family plot?
This is one of those things where if I showed this to my dad, he'd start sweating. It's somewhere around there.
It's just to the left, right out of screen.
I would love it if I found out that we own the local dump or something.
yeah, something horrible.
Where it says Palestinian Israeli citizens are discriminated against, particularly in terms of land use. In the occupied West Bank, where Palestinians, unlike Israeli settlers, are subject to military law, and where settlers have preferential access to land, resources and building permits. In Hamas-controlled Gaza, from which Palestinians are barred exit to live in the West Bank or East Jerusalem.
So flannel just makes it anywhere where people are broke.
Yeah.
They're just like, anytime you see like a destitute person anywhere in the world, there's flannel in the shot.
Check out this fucking sweet ass Adidas shirt for sale.
Jerusalem, where, unlike Israeli citizens,
classic.
Palestinians
of the
can
region.
have their residency status revoked.
This is the second high-profile report this year that has accused Israel of practicing apartheid. In January, the Israeli right...
he's with Al Jazeera. I thought for a second there, I was like, did American News just call that occupied East Jerusalem?
Yeah. No, they've got a point of view here.
Yeah.
But you know what? They're totally right to hire super white guys. Because I'm like, well, hold on, a white guy saying it. Maybe it's fucking true. I can't help it. Because their fucking reporters on Al Jazeera are like, I mean, you couldn't see it, but Mohammed Jumjum was as white as they get.
I mean, yeah, he looked like, seriously, a family member.
I mean, it was insane.
Big news in a couple of the news sources that I check for Middle Eastern news is that a government recognized Palestine as a country. I clicked on it, and it looked like it was Scotland, which already isn't a country.
Sure.
Remember the UK?
Yeah, they're too drunk. They didn't know.
Turns out it was a city within Scotland, a local government. Recognize Palestinian as a country.
I know as a group, Palestinians are in trouble because the only white people who support us are avid drunks. Scottish people, Irish people love Palestinians.
Separatists.
Yeah.
Neither of them want to be part of England. So that's why they.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I just think it's before we'll wrap it up here. It's been a fun show here. I feel like whenever I see these news stories about how when will they acknowledge the apartheid, I feel like a guy who was like from 1930s and I had some student loan debt, and it's like it's not going to be forgiven in your lifetime.
Right.
You're a long ways to go.
Right.
2040, you're in pretty good luck right there.
Or
Like,
it might be worse.
it might be worse. Like, it's
We're
gonna
not
be.
sure.
It's gonna be a long time. There's going to be some sweet ass benefits that come from this, and I ain't gonna get any of them. That's what I'm devastated about.
Benjamin Netanyahu, just like a lot of other politicians we've talked about on this podcast, are following Trump's lead. You never, ever apologize or acknowledge a mistake. Ever. Even if it's on camera.
I want to emphasize this right now. If it comes to it, I will move to Israel and be like kind of their diversity. They're cool. Oh, like, see, we're pro-Palestinian. We got a guy in house.
We already covered that on Patreon, on the Patreon episode we did last, which is www.patreon.com, Patreon/WHotW, $5 a month for 4 premium episodes a month. On the last episode, we covered Nas. What was his name?
Yeah. Nas Jabroni or something. I fucking hate that guy.
Yeah.
But no, that's a comedian. I'll cut that out.
Yeah. No, Nas is that exact guy. He's an Arab who is the friendly diversity guy.
Yeah. That's right.
Israel. So that job, you got to beat him for the job.
Okay. Duly noted. Follow the show, by the way, Worst Hour Pod, across all social media platforms. Give us 5 stars on the Apple Podcast app. Check out the show on YouTube. A lot of people. Video's back.
Comments are happening.
Comments are on fire. People were commenting. Spam was spamming.
Oh, yeah. And also shout out to Jason.
Oh, you're going to give him a main feed shout out too. Jason and Eric?
You guys know who you are.
Yeah, I know who you
Shout
are.
out to y'all.
Let's see here. Be sure
Todd?
to subscribe to Tyler's podcast, Best Podcast Ever Movie.
Best movie ever podcast. Best movie ever with Jackson and Tyler.
Check it out. If you're a fan of this show, you will love it. Follow
Jackson Banks has been on this show.
Jackson Banks is on the show, exactly. Yeah. Follow Tyler at Tyler Gizar. Hope that's Guitar with a Z. Hopefully we'll have him back around helping us out here soon. Follow Brian J. Vokey at Twitter, Mr. Brian Vokey on Instagram. Follow me at Ramsbad.
I just got a text from you that said, I've entered your home.
Yeah. The worst text to get while I've been sitting next to you for 3 hours. Let's see. You got anything else to say to these fine people, man?
No. Fat Jocks every Thursday at 9 p.m.
All right, man. Well, if you've got nothing else to say and I got nothing else to say, I just ignored what you said.
It was for them.
Yeah, I know. On behalf of everybody here at the Worst Hour Podcast Network, Nation. Me, Brian, Tyler, Ringo, G.com.
Cobra.
Ooh, check out G.com. Seriously, go to G.com. GEIYYE.com. In the show notes, in the links, in the description.
Just look at the website.
On behalf of everybody at the Worst Hour Nation, peace be unto the prophet.
Long live Kenyan property. 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 Kenyan property.